students may normally be thinking that when I come to a university, perhaps it's all about academics, but there are certain times I used to tell students that let the university pass through you. And once the university passes through you, it means that you are also becoming part and parcel of the university. So today we are here just to talk about an impending event, which is the Hall Week celebration, which will be done next semester. But the first thing we're doing this semester is to do a very massive cleanup exercise. The second cleanliness is next to godliness, which is very important to us. So we're going to have a cleanup exercise on this coming Saturday, that is 29th of March, and it will be 6 a.m. sharp with some music cools playing at the background, making students feel okay whilst we do the cleaning.
Okay, so cleaning and enjoyment.
That is it. The enjoyment part will even come after, which we'll have a kinky bouquet, where we would have students treat themselves to kinky, some sardines and some nice fish, and at the same time we have some glamoring on the kinky. Then the 9th, that is where we crown it all with what we call the Akwaaba. They have a term for it, which I think they will talk about it. So the Akwaaba 9th specifically we're done in the quadrangle of the hall. And normally we take this opportunity to make noise in the hall, make students feel okay, makes new students who are very shy. You know, university has to bring some other aspect of us.
That's right.
Some life that normally is hidden from the people. You see people who are not too bad in quotation, they feel very shy, and you get to bring that out on Saturday.
So
and
more
I think that is why we are here.
More like breaking the ice.
We want to break people who don't want to feel that they feel shy. So we'll bring those aspects of them to the whole. And it's also good to fraternize, where we expect them to fraternize, they dance, and then they also have some small gizzard to solidify that.
Sounds very interesting. So I'll go to the gentleman sitting right there in the middle. Please introduce yourself. Tell us your name and
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Selom Ganyo, Akwaaba Hall President.
Okay, so Your Excellency, that's what I refer to you as. You're welcome to KTU Radio. So let's touch a little bit on your presidency, yeah? What are your visions for your hall, and how do you intend to achieve this?
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, there are so many challenges that we want to overcome as presidents or as executives of the hall. First of all, you are supposed to come here, but most of them are not around, and then they are in this group, so we have to speak on their behalf.
Okay.
First of all, before we can achieve that, there should be unity amongst us, where we decide on what to do and what not to do, with the guidance of our hall patrons. We have started doing something. We have started, getting progress and then getting certain things done. But I think we can achieve more if we push more. So for now, we are there, but we are not there yet. I know it's a gradual process. So when we get there finally, we'll be very happy when it happens. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So I'll move to you next.
All right. So I'm Bright Kwesi Oyadie, the president for Akwaaba Hall.
All right.
Yes.
So Bright, going by what Doctor said in his introduction, you have new, intakes and all that. So being the hall president, how do you intend to engage with your hall members, your new ones that are coming in, and to ensure that their voices are heard?
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We are in a very big institution, and one thing that I would like every student on campus to know is that every student on campus, we are all affiliated to a hall. All right. So particularly being a president for Akwaaba Hall, I know other students also belongs to different or other subsequent halls too as well. So therefore, I think the best way to go is to at least involve them in all the activities of the hall, so that they shouldn't feel idle, they shouldn't feel like they are not part. Being part of the hall doesn't mean that those living in the resident hall only belongs to the hall. No, every student on campus belongs to the hall. Therefore, this particular event that we organize or we are about to organize, we are doing that to bring them together, to make sure that they all involve themselves in activities. You know, during the activity there will be different kind of games, and at least within the hall, okay? And there's going to be a kinky party. It doesn't mean that those that will enjoy the kinky in the morning are those that are in the hall, no. But if you come from outside and you involve yourself in the activity, you surely get part of what we have for them. And anything that we share, so far as you belongs to the hall, probably you get one.
Okay. So let's focus a little bit more on the celebration. Is there a particular thing? What is the theme for this year's celebration?
All right. So this year, the theme for the celebration is embracing our roots, celebrating our future.
Okay.
And we also have the program name. We also have the program name, whereby we name it Kasongo Akwaaba Night.
Why Kasongo?
Okay. You see,
Kasongo, yeah.
we name it for it to be a little bit catchy, so that at least more of the students will get involved. But I don't know if you want to still understand the meaning of Kasongo.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Kasongo
So,
is a love song.
the meaning of
Love
Kasongo is okay. The meaning of Kasongo is wisdom, intelligence, strength, and unity. Okay. So we thought about this, that Kasongo being a current trending name that, you know, on your social media you see people Kasongo yeah and those kind of things. You see, I think when we name it like this, it will bring forth, it will yield better things. Yes, please.
Okay. I'll pass this on to Selam. Selam, right? Okay. So Selam, tell us what's the difference. Looking at past celebrations, I believe this is not the first time. Looking at past celebrations, are there any unique events that you are introducing this year?
Before I go on to the unique events, I would say it has been a ritual that we perform every year,
Okay.
especially with this first semester. But this time, what we are going to do, which is a bit different from what has been done already, is the massive cleanup exercise that we are going to undertake. We have, the former people have done this, but this time we are doing it more than what has been done already. We are taking it very seriously because, as Doc said, cleanliness is next to godliness, and then we should live in an environment where we have our peace of mind. So we are going to undertake a massive cleanup exercise around.
You've been stressing so much on massive, more and more. How much is more in this contest?
Okay, so when I talk about more, it's not about your living area alone. It's about the surrounding around, the surroundings.
Okay.
We mostly draw on the places around where we live, but this time we are going outside where we live. So it's not the accommodations alone, but the facilities where we use around also get that facelift in terms of the cleanup exercise. And then with the night, it's a way of getting people involved, where people fraternize with each other, where we make merry, and then there are other stuffs. But this time, what is going to be unique about it is that this is a time that people get to know really what goes on into organizing such programs, especially with the halls involved. And I think when we come together, we might foster a new way or a pathway where the future will come out of that. So that's what we are going to do.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, back to you, Dr. Jamal. I'll ask you this one. Looking at the celebration and what they've touched on so many things, I'd like to ask you this specifically. Have you been able to secure sponsorship or any partnership?
Okay, so
this year's celebration?
normally, because some of these events are short in nature, sponsorships are always quite very difficult, especially when they come first semester, where the executives who are new have to now begin to find their feet. It becomes quite a challenge. However, this particular program is only normally run by KTU for students to be able to have the opportunity to do this particular program. So, for example, the cleanup exercise that we're talking about, normally you can't just do cleaning. You need to have detergents to be to clean.
Yeah.
You need to have certain equipment that are very necessary and germane in making sure that is done. And so a university of ours is providing that. And you also will understand that to feed people is sometimes very expensive.
Yeah.
I've always maintained that if you wake up in the morning and you to put a budget of 40 Ghana cedis or 20 Ghana cedis down and multiply by the number of people that you want to feed, it's quite very extravagant for the university. But the university is trying just to provide some, at least for us to get this thing done. We're hoping that in the future, as many as people that we can as a university, the university will be able to provide that. Again, in the ninth, sometimes I always say that it is that part of that inhuman part of you that is quite important. Sometimes we just bring some people up, students up to speed to be able to understand what happens in the university environment. Sometimes you just even come to stand there, not even dancing, just opening up yourself, and then getting to see people hitherto you don't know, because people who normally attend those programs are not only those domiciled in the hostel. There are people that may come outside, and I've realized that most students like fun part of life, and so we usually don't want to serve as a constraint as a university to the students doing that. As long as we're going to have a peaceful environment, the university supports that activity. So it's going to be good. And at the end of the day, you can't provide for everything, but the little you provide, sometimes we are content with that. We're hoping, and as I keep saying, hopes are what keep everybody moving. We're hoping that not too distant future, the university will be able to provide as many as 10,000 students who will appear there. Though we know that not everyone will come there.
Yeah.
But for the interim, we'll do that. But going forward into the future, we would orientate our students as they take leadership to begin to magnify their brain thinking, and at the end of the day, seeking to get sponsorship of some of these programs. So, for example, next semester they will be having, by his grade, they'll be having Hall Week celebration, which is earmarked for almost 7 days. And so I would take that as an opportunity to talk to the hall president and other executives to see how we can complement the fund, some monies from or some other materials that will come in kind from other benevolent organizations aside what the university will provide. And I think that will make it very big.
Okay. So tell us, are you anticipating a whole lot of turnout? What number would you say it's a good turnout considering this semester's celebration?
All right, thank you once again. You know, KTU, we have a population of about 13,350 students on campus. And as I made mention earlier, that every student is affiliated to a hall, I think it will be best that we all match up to the place so that we clean up the place well, because that's the main resident for the school, and I can say that's the family head. Okay, that's the family of KTU. So KTU has different has no other hostels that we might say that this particular hostel belongs to KTU aside Get Farm Hostel. So therefore I'm trying to at least move to class, faculties and other private hostels aside to at least inform them that they should get themselves involved in this particular activity.
And what has been the response from students that you've reached out to?
All right, so you see, for the previous years, seems like the previous administrations, they don't channel such informations to those students, telling them that they are part of the hall. But I think this current administration will make them know that they are all affiliated to a hall, whereby they also pay hall dues and they must get themselves involved in all the activities that we need to take. So therefore, I think during the exercise, going around to inform them, much of them and many of them will rep on that day.
So you're very much hopeful and optimistic
Yes,
that the turnout will be good. And your final words, Selom.
Yes, thank you very much. So I want to reach out to the KTU populace, that they are all involved in whatever activity that goes on in the residence. They shouldn't take themselves out. They are part. We want them to feel at home, especially with the freshers. Welcome them. They should feel at home. There's a saying that it's all work or no play make Jack a dull boy. We have been working hard. It's time to wind down. So you should come on board and then join us.
Okay, just take us, or Doc, would you want to do it? We want to go through the lineup, the program lineup
let's
for.
do
Okay, can you please do that before we take it?
Okay, so on Saturday, which is the 29th of this month, coming Saturday, is the cleanup exercise in the morning, which is at 6. So roughly by midday, we are done with the cleanup exercise. The cleanup is followed by kinky party, a massive kinky party, a buffet of course, where you come to have some kind of sardine, fish with kinky. Then you wind down with some kind of water, chilled one of course. And then in the evening, where we climax everything with the Kasungu Akwaaba night, we have some kind of kebab, drinks, and other assorted, I don't want to say it all. So when you come, you have a feel
really?
of it.
So
and
you're
then,
keeping,
yes,
you're
yeah,
saving
we are,
some.
yes,
You're
yes,
saving some.
we save some.
You save some.
So that when you come, you get to know
Seeing
what
is
the real,
believing.
yes, the real deal.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, Doc, any final words?
Yeah, so if you look at sometimes the vibrancy we want to attach to this whole week and whole activities, and the fact that we have one major hall that is divided into 4, or one major hostel that is divided into 4 halls, it is quite important that the university embraces itself and the community as a whole, that we ought to know that university life also starts with being in the hall. And I will tell you, it was quite massive that even when we opened for booking for the hall, it was oversubscribed, and there were even issues that we needed to deal with. So we're hoping and pray that the university will be able to build more halls so that we have students have student life. The hall has 4 halls, as I have reiterated, and we have